good afternoon. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. The final one of the regular season. The Hornets knock off the Wizards 124 to 108 in the regular season finale. As always, before we get started with breaking down today's game, got Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr. here, Wilson Tarbe Jr. And as always, we got a quick word from our folks over at Uzanaz. Join us for our bottomless mimosa brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Try our chicken and waffles, 2 panko breaded, juicy, boneless chicken thighs, crispy Belgian waffle, maple syrup, and butter for just $17.95. All right, Cardell, your initial thoughts on the regular season finale today?
Like I said, for me, it's just been about seeing how the young fellas finish out the season. So we got something to look forward to this summer. And as things progress towards next season. And for the most part, the young fellas did well. Obviously, the game got away from them in the second half, specifically in the fourth. Rozier and the mellow ball started bombing them from three, and that just kind of took them out, so to speak. And all the Hornets had to do was just hold on. It's just promise. That's just what it is. Our Kuz out, Porzingis obviously no Bill. This home stretch to close out the season was just about seeing which young players won it. Outside the guys we know going to be here, like the Ruiz, obviously Kisper, Denny. I'm looking at Gafford. I'm looking at Vernon Carey, who came over, Todd. Even veterans who may be on minimum deals like Anthony Gill, seeing what they do. You know what I mean? They guys were still playing for spots, not just on this team, but if they're not here, potentially for another team. They were playing to keep their jobs. That's what I was looking at. We all know what it is that the season was done. They've been eliminated. On the basketball aspect, it was nothing really to write home about. Yeah, they competed, but it's the same old tale what we've seen throughout the season with the Wizards. They competed. They're right there, and then the team go on a run and then take them out. It's as simple as that. But the Hornets are in playoff mode, so they came out ready to go. They came out focused, and they're trying to get this W, trying to improve their chances as far as possibly hosting a plan or having to go on the road. So they were playing for something as well. But all in all, man, I like what I saw. Rui finally got close to 20 shots up, as I said he needed. 9 for 19 and 21 points. That should be game in, game out. Even let's say next year Bill's here, Porzingis, and Kuz, he still deserved to get 15 to 20 shots. He's still that good. You know what I mean? Even with those three, guess what? You can be a nice fourth option. And the more the options, the merrier. The better. It makes other teams, it makes it hard for other teams to have to focus on guys and guard the Wizards. You know what I mean? It's not like you should have to just dumb down your game to fit in, because believe me, with the pace and everything that's going on in the league currently, you'll be able to get enough shots. But for me, it was just that, man. They have a lot of work to do in the off season, especially compared to what how the season started, and they're making a big trade around the trade deadline, and getting some key pieces in. Obviously, we'll starting with Porzingis and whatnot, but they have a lot of work to do in the off season. Obviously, we got to see what happens with the draft. The elephant in the room, I keep saying it. With Bill, I don't see him leaving that money on the table. I just see it's more of a deal. He resigns and then just see how they feel with Porzingis and Kuz and those guys. If it goes to hell, then obviously he's going to be like, all right, man, let's move this contract. It's just not working. But if it thrives, then you got something to build on. I think it's just more of that wait and see. But no man in his right mind is going to leave whatever 30, 40 million on the table. That's just not smart business savvy. So I anticipate him re-signing and coming back. Maybe on a shorter deal, maybe with some options in there. But they got work to do. But you see the Hornets in the plan, they weren't far off. That December killed the Wizards. If they'd have just went 500, they would be in the playoffs right now. At the very worst case scenario, very least, maybe the play-in, top of the play-in. That December killed them, man. That's something that happened in the locker room. That should never happen with professionals, where you just get deflated or whatever's going on. You allow it to, come on the court and just tear the team apart in that arena, where it was just like, man, what's going on? So, they have some nice pieces, some nice young pieces, a good mix of veterans in there as well. But they have some work to do. We're gonna talk about it more later. They have to get a starting point guard. They have to get one. They got guys that can get it done in a reserve role by committee, but they got to get it. The point guard in the league right now to me is like it's like quarterback in the NFL. You need one. You need a good one to compete. If you don't have one, it's gonna be tough. I think they need that. And the myriad of other thing, they need toughness on the inside. You know what I mean? Maybe another wing defender, a guy that can really slow down these elite wings, because we saw all season when the elite wings came in here, it got ugly quick. It got very ugly. So they need some guys that could really, shut their water off, so to speak, or at least contain them, keep them at their average, and then the Wizards can take it from there, man. But we'll talk more on that. But like I said, it was a good showing from the young fellas until the game got away from them in the fourth quarter, and that's all I was really focused on. It wasn't much else to really, look at.
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just being perfectly honest. It really was, nothing to play for in regards of the like standings or anything like that. But just want to see what guys have at this point, man. And I really like what I saw from Kispert. Just his development throughout the season period. I didn't expect him to turn into this type of player. He's more versatile than I would have anticipated. He just got more comfortable as time has gone along. And now he's starting. So it was a solid rookie season for him. Um, just Denny. Later in the season, we'd always talked about him just having to get out of his own head, and it seems like he hasn't, been in that negative space lately. Just kind of dropping his head after every mistake. He's just out there playing basketball, and it's yielded dividends for him. So that's good to see, man, because he's incredibly talented. But the mental aspect of the game will hold you back, and he's just got to work through that, man. Um, but yeah, we all know what what position they're in. They got a lot of work to do. It was a rough first year for West, given all the personnel moves and things that went on, behind the scenes. But I mean, he stayed the course. But yeah, this is it is what it is, man. They, like Cardell said, man, that December wrecked them. They were on a pretty positive trend, before that, but it just seemed like everything hit at once and it just avalanched out of control, and they were never able to recover. So yeah, they had to pivot and get some guys out of here. But things happen, man. So it's just good to see the young guys show some improvement. Some of the G League guys got some reps. Isaiah Todd and Jordan Shackle the last couple games. So yeah, we'll continue to see what happens with that. Yeah, maybe that's something they look at. I mean, I'm not expecting anybody from the go-go to come in and make huge payoff like that, but they got some guys down there that are hungry and they play hard, and that's really something that was missing for the Wizards for the entire season. So maybe it's that's something to take a look at. But yeah, all in all, man, it's for this game. Yeah, like Cardell said, man, it's just in these last few games, it's just seeing guys kind of they're basically auditioning, and Rui, yeah, he's got to learn just to be more aggressive, man. Um, we've been saying it all year. Even the games when he's not taking the 20 shots that we asked for, he'll go like 8 for 14, have 17 to 20 points. Like in those instances, especially down this stretch after they've mathematically been eliminated, just let the chopper sing, man. It's nowhere to go from up at that point. So yeah, maybe that's something that he addresses in the offseason. He'll come back with a new mindset. But yeah, man, just it's a long season, man, on all fronts.
All right. For the final time this season, you guys player of the game and X factors. Start with player of the games.
LaMelo, obviously, near a triple double, dominated, handle business, and get ready for the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, he controlled the game at every facet.
All right, X Factor.
Gosh. Rozier, he blew the game open when the Wizards was close. I think they were down 93-90 in the fourth. And, hit a couple threes, and that was all she wrote. And finished with a game high 25. So, you got to give it to him, and 6 assists. 10 of 18, 5 of 9 from deep. He had an efficient, nice all-around game. So, you got to give it to him.
Right. Did you have another candidate?
Nah, yeah, it looked like it was about to be a fight down the stretch until Rozier just kind of got loose. I think at one point during the fourth, he's had 10 straight points, and that was all she wrote. That was a knockout blow.
Yeah, he's working his way up that list. Wizards killers. Something he's done a couple times this season against them is get hot late. All right. So for those of you that already have comments, we're gonna get to them just a little bit. We're gonna, just take a quick minute, talk about the season and review briefly, and then we'll get to your comments. So, just bear with us. All right. Looking at the season review, I think both of you guys touched on a couple things. When you were talking about tonight's game, but going forward, I think as of right now, like they're around the 9th or 10th spot in the lottery. The lottery still has to happen. Has not happened yet. I think it happens on May 17th. If you guys are listening, feel free to double check the dates. Everything seems the same to me right now, but I think it's May 17th. So we'll get a little bit more clarity then. But just as a whole, you guys, we've touched on the biggest block of this entire time being Brad and what he does. That said, looking at this season review and then taking a brief look ahead, what are you guys looking at? What are a couple of things that you guys are honed in on? Ray, you want to start, or Cardell, you want to start?
Defense. I think, and during training camp, Cardell said if they defend, they could potentially be a second round team. And I truly believe that was their potential. But as we saw, the inconsistency on that end throughout the year doomed them. There was a lot of games they should have won if they simply just defended, even like sometimes they defend for one quarter and then the other three would just be disastrous. You can't win basketball games like that. And we've seen they defend for 2 quarters and they have enough offense to carry it over. So yeah, man, something's got to change on that end. That's the players just got to look in the mirror on that aspect. And Cardell again touched on their need for a starting point guard. It is going to be vital. You can't compete in this league today without one. And they just need somebody to direct traffic. They tried to put the ball in Brad's hands at points. Then they did it with a few guys. Getting Ish back was big, but again, he's more of just used to come in a reserve role to kind of study the second unit and and spell the starter. So yeah, man, it's a lot of work to be done. People won't earn their checks this offseason. But I mean, overall, the season was really a disappointment, man. We started talking about, how the basement was the playoffs. They made it last year. They retooled, got some more pieces, got veterans in here this year. We feel like they should have made the playoffs, and things just happened as to where they fell short of that. So yeah, if they got any pride at all, they'll come back next year with the more determination to to live up to that, because they have enough to at least be in the postseason. It's really no excuse, man. A lot of things that happened were a direct result of players failing to get done on the floor, and it just doesn't get more complicated than that for me.
All right, Cardell.
Yeah, same for me. Honestly, I think a lot of teams in the league are looking for people who want to play defense, man. It's just a skill that has it's a skill that has just went to hell with a lot of players because they're not being forced to play it. It's just as simple as that. They at the lower levels, they've kind of been pushed through without being forced and being held accountable to play on that. And then you get to the highest level, with the emphasis so much on offense and all this skill, and then with the rules kind of crippling defenders to a certain extent. And then you add in the fact they don't have a concept of how to play defense at all. Like you're more than food. You spoil food. You shouldn't be out there to begin with, man. It's just you just roadkill. So I mean, yeah, the Wizards ain't exempt. Pretty much if you're if you're in the lottery, you definitely need to fix that in. So good luck finding it, man. Better look at some of these athletes. Everybody focuses on skill, but athleticism can shut down skill if it's hungry and knows what it's doing as far as the players. So, they're going to make some changes with that. But yeah, they gotta get a point guard. They got they gotta get a point guard, and that's one of the mistakes that they made in the last couple of years, letting one go that wanted to be here compared to one who we all knew honestly this was a stopgap, that he was looking to go somewhere and possibly contend for the championship. And they didn't go too well, but that's what he was looking at. You got to find that. I'm not sure if that's in this draft. I'm looking at the draft right now. I'm not sure you can find that. And even if you did find somebody special, will they develop quick enough where Brad will want to be here? If Brad opt in this summer, depending on how long he stay, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of options in a couple of years. So he's not gonna be here like 4 years with no option, and he got to deal with it. You know what I mean? And a lot of this core, a lot of guys here like Caldwell Pope and stuff, they got 1 year. They got like a 1 year, then after next year they got an option and to leave and stuff like that. You got to look at these contracts, just see what it is. I just took a glance at the Wizards contract situation. They're in the luxury tax and they're in the lottery, so that's what I'm saying. Some of these players we've become accustomed to seeing throughout this season and the past couple of years, they're gonna be gone. Just for the simple fact, like it's gonna be hard for them to move. They can't do anything. And what's the point of paying luxury tax if you're not winning? So for me, is you got to get a point guard. You got to get a defender. Like I said, you got to get. That's something they definitely should eye in the draft, because you got Kispert for offense, Denny, Rui. You got all these versatile forwards that can put the ball in the hole. That's taken care of. You need and Kuz. Kuz a veteran. He in that 3 spot. It is what it is. 3-4 guy. You need somebody that can stop those guys. You know what I mean? And Rui's a solid defender. Denny actually could play defense. Like he's real good. That's one thing he surprised me with, and he's versatile. He can guard threes and fours. He's good, but he does struggle with quicker guys on the wing. So you need to get an athlete. You need to get somebody that 3-and-D guy, and then just develop him like that, where he can do a number of things. You know what I mean? But specifically put him on guys, and they can slow him down enough where the Wizards can pull out wins. Man, it's key. Because you're not making any noise in the East without having a wing defender that can shut down these wings. You got to deal with Tatum, you got to deal with KD, Kyrie, James over here. You got James been here, but you got to deal with him in Philly. Obviously Jimmy, Hero, and those guys down in Miami. I'm just throwing out names and stuff like that. Miles Bridges took a leap. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. You're not gonna really make any noise in the East, man. So you got to have somebody that can get after it and make those guys work and contain them. And I want to see them. I like Gav, man, but he undersized big, as bouncy as he is. It's just too many mental errors defensively, and I don't think he know how to utilize his athleticism enough to be an elite rim protector, even though he has that bounce. And that's the saying. It's just like, yeah, guys are super athletic with certain players, but do they know how to utilize it in the game? Do they know how to use it? If you get him in an empty gym by yourself, you be like, oh man, he got like slam dunk contest winning athleticism, but in the game, you don't see it. So it's not helping you, man. Like you see the difference in Boston, which is what a guy I wanted the Wizards to draft a few years ago, Robert Williams. A whole lot of defensive issues will be erased if they had him. But the thing is, he knows how to utilize his athleticism. He knows how to do that. He has better instincts. He's a better basketball player than Gafford, even though they're around the same size. Same athletic ability and whatnot. But Robert Williams just understands how to play better. And you saw when the Celtics turned their season around, yes, Tatum and Jaylen Brown, those guys was going crazy, torching the league. But Robert Williams was the anchor on their defense. Like it was nothing going on inside. You know what I mean? So when you got that inside, it allows you on the wing to be better defenders because I got help. Now you more confident. It's like little brother talking trash to the neighborhood bully because big bro in the house like, yeah, keep rapping, it's gonna be problems for you. So the bully got to chill, and that's just what you see. The Wizards don't have that. Like you've seen throughout the season, especially late in the season, man. It was just a layup drill. Like put it this way: what if you had somebody like a Robert Williams with Porzingis back there? There are no layups because it takes the pressure off Porzingis having always rotating block shots. He ain't got to worry about foul shot, but he's still 7'3". He's lurking. So even if Robert Williams come and rotate, do his defensive thing, or somebody that mode and bothers you when you drive to the lane, Porzingis is coming behind to clean it up. That helps spark your offense, and teams see that. So they're going to be less hesitant to go inside, which makes them easier to guard. It's just little things like that. I want to see more toughness and stuff on the rebound. I mean, on the boards. That caters to that end too. That's a part of defense. That's how you end defense. I just want to see them get a big that's rugged and do the dirty work because that's what they need, man. They got more than enough players to do all the little cute skill stuff and all that. That's cool. But, it was too many times this season where, you saw them in some games just flat out get pumped. And then nobody really responded outside a couple of players. So they have to change that, man. And, we're going to see where it goes, man. But they're not far off. But this is a big off season because if they make the wrong moves, they can definitely be far off very soon. And we back into the early 90s Bullets mode where if they win 20 games, we're like, yeah, it's better than we thought. It was just dire. It was just depressing. So we're going to see how it goes, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the same boat as you guys. And Cardell, what you said about the athleticism is huge. I know folks want like a one size fit all quick fix in terms of the point guard thing. Like there's a mythical being that's right there available for them to pick right now, and it changes everything that quickly. Like you brought up guys like Robert Williams. Yeah, get a couple of guys who already have the athleticism weaponized to use on the defensive end of the floor. And it dramatically changes things. Like you said, we've been saying for a couple of years, they don't lack scoring the basketball. They don't lack it all. Go get you some folks who naturally excel on the end of the floor, who naturally have those instincts on the end of the floor, and it could change some things. And like you said, one or two decisions the wrong way, this is gonna seem like a high point if you don't take care of business. I guess the other thing I want to present you guys before we get to the comments. What do you think about some folks that want like the bigger name point guard or whatever? It might cost you a couple of these kids or what have you, possibly. Are you guys okay with that thought? Or are you more along the lines of what you're talking about? We're trying to get some guys, help you play defense initially, help shore up the end of the floor, and then have them develop naturally.
Why not just get a point guard that do all that can run the team and defend? Hey, I'm looking at the free agent market because I'm not sure. Like I said, you can look in the draft, but I'm not sure if somebody's ready to come in and just ready to go right now. I don't know if they have that at point guard. It's guys that like Jaden Ivey. I think he'd be nice in a couple years, 2-3. Man, that might come out guns blazing to do that, but I'm not sure. So are you willing to gamble that? Because at that point, if he's not ready, then you can't fault Bill for being like, if he stayed, like, you know what, I gotta go. Because then at that point, it's getting close to him wasting his career. You know what I'm saying? He got to go contend and try to win a ring. And that's a big part of winning. Like, organizations got to build a team that's capable of doing that, man. You know what I mean? So, but let's be real. I'm looking at the free agent market, point guard. Kyrie Irving ain't going nowhere. Russell Westbrook, he going to stay in L.A. because don't nobody want that contract. And he's going to be 34. The one above that is John Wall. He's going to be 32. Might have to swallow some ego, some pride. Just be like, I messed up. Might have to just be some grown man conversations. Like, that was my bad, dog. We always be pissed. like let's be real. Have they really replaced him?
No.
I mean, they had Russ on for like half a season, but no, they really understood the essence of this area, and let alone to do everything that they're lacking at that position in one player. No, it's the reason why he was the number one pick, and he's just sitting out there. and he's fresh. So he's healthy and stuff like that. So you just gotta have some conversations, man. It's just because, and I don't mean to be no disrespect, man, but like, look, you can package a few of these players and go get him from Houston. You see what I'm saying? It's just, look, man. The only, let's say they do talk and they agree to make that happen. The only thing that may mess that up is I think Walls with Clutch, and they're gonna try to use that to politics and things, and out there in La La Land and stuff like that. That's the only thing that you might be hesitant in dealing with is the Clutch factor. But because outside of those three, obviously, like I said, Kyrie's gonna stay in Brooklyn. Russ, his contract not gonna be moved. After that, you got Ricky Rubio's coming off of ACL, and he's in Indiana. Then Dylan Wright, Tyus Jones, Patrick Mills, Schroeder, Avery Bradley, Colin Sexton, Corey Joseph. Look, I'm going down the line of all the available free agent point guards. Faku out in Denver, Trey Burke, Frank Jackson, Rondo, Ryan Arconato from the Knicks, Aaron Holiday, who you just traded, so he ain't trying to come back. Look, man. It ain't. Look, I'm just saying. What you gonna do? It's not a big market for that caliber of point guard that will change it. And like I said, it would have to be a lot of conversation on the table. Now, if it's about winning, those conversations should be had. Because it's not just on the Wizards side. You gotta look at it. They had those conversations. We all gotta understand now. It's Bill's team. It ain't. You're not the guy. You're not the top guy no more. So things gonna move according to what Bill say first, and you have to respect that. But they gotta make some tough decisions, man. Because right now, saying this pat, it's not gonna get the job done, and they have a chance. Like think about it with Bill, Porzingis, and Kuzma. You have a nucleus of three players right there that can do it. Who's gonna set the table? And then Wall, he's gonna be hungry to prove. Defensively, he's straight. He's healthy. His natural game is facilitating. I know he can still get you 19, 20 a game. You add him back to the mix. Now if they stay healthy, it's a problem. Especially with the depth they have and stuff like that. Caldwell Pope and all those guys, like it's a problem. Like think about it. Let's say Wall do come. Let's say they pull up. You got Wall, you got Bill, you got Kuz at the 3, Porzingis at the 4. Who cares at the 5? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, just rebound on block shots and dunk when we dish it all to you. Then you got Denny, Rui, and all those guys come out. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you got a mob. You have a mob. So, if they serious about winning, they need to visit that. They got to see that because, like I said, I'm looking at the draft. You go Jaden Ivey. You got Tata Washington out of Kentucky, but I don't think he's going to be ready right away. I'm just, Notre Dame, Blake Wesley. People probably know who he is. Dyson Daniels in the G League. We watched him. Kennedy Chandler, who I love from Tennessee, but he's small, 6'1", 170. He can ball though, but it might take him time. He's not ready to deal with the Steph Currys and all those guys right now, and then Jaws, even CP3. Can he deal with those guys? It's just real. And also, we know Ben Simmons is going to be back. He's going to be back running the show for Brooklyn. They're going to be big as hell. You need a big point guard that can, you know what I'm saying? James Harden, even though he's, probably lost his steps up, that's still 6'5", 220. You need a big point guard, though, to make any noise. I'm just throwing things out there. This is what it is, season in review. We talked about what they were, but we looking forward right now. And those are the glaring weaknesses. They need a wing defender. They need a more athletic big that's tough, that understands, that's more rugged inside. I know they have an athletic on guy, but you need a rugged big that go down there and just bodies peel off of him and he getting the board and stuff like that. He's controlling the paint. He get the ball, he know what to do with it inside. He know how to finish inside. And they need a floor general as close to elite as possible. Because right now, between, Satoransky, he can run point, but he's more of a versatile wing. Ish Smith, who I love as a reserve point guard, but I don't think he's the answer as a starting point guard for 82 games. Raul Neto's tough, an ultimate competitor, but he's small. You see what teams pick on him. Cassius Winston, been in the G League for a minute. I don't know what the deal is for him. They haven't felt like he's shown enough promise to move him up. I mean, who else? Who else you got at point guard? I mean, I just went through the whole roster. That's not going to do it. Though. It's not going. No disrespect, it's not going to do it. I love them in reserve roles and filling in, but you need that guy. So is it about winning, or is it about ego? That's what we're gonna find out in this offseason.
We're gonna find that out quick too. So as those decisions are made, we're gonna find that out very, very, very quick. I'm gonna go through some of these comments before we get out of here. Anthony Tony from a while ago said Gafford was Trez punching bag all night. Another one, trade a young piece for better talent. You were on one today. Pray Bill doesn't return. Get a better, I guess we're just saying get a better team for coaching for Wes Unseld Jr.
I guess he's saying upgrade the staff.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ray. All right. Trade for Rozier. Laughing about that. Area 11T. Young guys' improvement area, strength, their aggressiveness when driving, get bumped off their spot so easily. Their handle, their scoring, stamina, mainly Denny, and get a go-to move. Things he would like the youngsters to work on this summer, I take it. Then he wanted to ask us all, what camp battles are you guys looking forward to next season?
It's hard to say because we don't really know for sure we're going to be here. It's way too early for that. So, and honestly, it's already kind of been stamped, for certain pieces right now. Like, unless they make a drastic move, so we got to see what that is. You know what I mean? So, and whoever they draft, maybe they make a trade, and that pick is part of the trade. Like, it's so many unknowns right now to even go into that.
That's a question. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
But I want to see the defensive end, all the battles I want to see, like who's strapped. I know my man was like, they need to work on all this offensive stuff, man. Look, dog, offense ain't the problem. They put up points like hell. Even tonight, they put up points, had 30 points in the quarter and stuff like that. They can't stop anybody. That's why they're in the lottery.
They can't prevent people from putting up 30 in a quarter. Numerous teams put up 30,
40.
35, 40 in a quarter. That's like we kind of touched on this, but just sharing a comment. Go get Ricky Rubio and use it for a backup point guard. So about Wall. Yeah, Wall can't play off ball. And additionally, Wall not buying out that contract. Would you trade this year's picking a young guy for better talent? I just think that's kind of what folks were just alluding to. We have no idea. Come draft day, we don't know how other teams in the league are going to feel about anything. You might be able to. Sometimes you don't know what's on the table until you find out what's on the table. And sometimes the sports draft day changes the clock for some teams. Sometimes you be like, no. You get the draft day, those offers look a little different. And then somebody you weren't planning on moving, things change. Area 11T had a question. Have y'all heard of Alondis Williams? He's an athletic senior point guard that gets a comparison of a poor man's Deron Williams.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Thing is, I don't even know if he's gotten invited to Portsmouth, and that's where all the top seniors go. So he's not in that mix. I don't, what I'm saying, that ain't looking too good for his draft prospect. I think, and then we don't know what's going on internationally. Who's in the draft from there? You know what I'm saying? There's always these unknown cats that, like last year we did a draft. It was like, man, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of unknowns, but they need a star point guard that can do a lot of things. And right now, I'm just looking at the landscape. Wall fit a lot of those needs. But
it's kind of dry out there.
Very.
You might have it like what Cardell said. Might go get that old thing back and figure out how to bring it back in the business. You are where you are right now. He said he didn't mention defense as an improvement because it was the obvious area to improve.
Yeah, but we need to start there, man. Like, second, third. Dog.
Anthony Tony said he didn't mean Rubio, he meant Rondo.
Bro, Rondo barely get on the floor with the Cavs, man. He up there, dog. He's been at least since 2000.
Yeah, Rondo, what, 36 now?
Hey,
if what's it called was healthy, he wouldn't be getting minutes on the Cavs. what's the other young boy that's been missing most of the year on Cleveland?
Sexton.
Sexton.
Yeah.
Sexton not a natural point guard. He can facilitate. He'll try to strap. He'll put the shots up. You know, he's not the most efficient, but he'll put shots up. But they don't need no more of that, dog. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's tough.
need a table setter, and weaponize athleticism on the defensive end, man. The boring stuff. It's not. It's like you said. You're gonna find out if they care about winning, because the boring stuff, you know, to some folks, but to good teams, it's important things, vital pieces, things that mean a hell of a lot.
And I hate to spoil y'all fans. Look, just get y'all a reality check with teams in the league. They're either trying to win or the owner's trying to make money. There ain't no in between. So we're gonna find out what it is very soon, man. We're gonna find out. Because if no significant moves are made, maybe they just bring back as is. We got our answer.
Facts. Hey, we want to thank y'all again for spending all season with us. You know, knocking out the regular season with us as far as Wizards Outlook goes. Obviously, we'll pop up throughout the off season to have some more in-depth conversations as the time as those times merit. Tune in this week. You know, just follow the Focus TV. We got our regular shows this week as well. You know, regular weekly installment of the Focus TV that airs on DC TV and our Roku channel, and then you know our morning shows. And then Cardell's at Portsmouth this week. So follow us on the Focus TV pop up if you guys are curious about what's going on with seniors that are at Portsmouth this week. It's a great time to tune in. And again, if you're not following us, already do so. If you follow us on YouTube, on our various YouTube channels, make sure you guys go ahead and do that so you get the notifications. There's going to be a couple times this week. Going to have Cardell on, and you know I'm going to have some questions about what's going on in Portsmouth. It behooves you guys to have some questions as well. You know, especially with we see where this conversation is going. Feel like we're going to have many similar conversations throughout the course of this off season. Then again, you know, the morning shows will be around after mornings after playoff games, what have you, all throughout the playoffs. It'll be a fun time to discuss that. Y'all have a great day. Hope you guys had a good weekend, and I appreciate you, Anthony, Tony, and many others. We definitely do. So stick with us throughout the off season. Again, for program is not going to stop just because, you know, the Wizards portion of the season ended. Keep that in mind. Y'all have a great one.